Well, it's been a long time, over 3 months almost, since I've done anything on the 2020 DCFL Playoffs, regular season, because before I could do the playoffs, I had to simulate all the regular season, because this is not like American Football Simulator where I simulate one game and that's it. No, I had to do it on a different game, remember. I had to make a separate file for it so I could simulate the games based upon the schedule I made, because the game generated a completely different schedule. So then I had to redo the games all over again and had to keep redoing them to make sure the teams that won their games. And that took 3 months to be able to do it. So now, let's get ready for the playoffs. So here's where we last left off. When the regular season ended, in the Eastern Conference, the Indianapolis Rapid Stallions blew out everyone to go 15-1 for the second year in a row as they clinched the division title, with the Jacksonville Scouts improving to 11-5 to get the second seed, and the New York Gangsters, the team that won it last year and the runner-up to the title, regressed to 9-7 but managed to get into the playoffs. Then my Baltimore Charm were 4th, 6-10, their first to lose in the season, which sucks. Then the Philadelphia Sonics, after going 1-15 last year, had a really nice improvement to go 6-10. And the expansion Boston Red Jackets had a nice first year going 6-10. Then in the Western Conference, the Chicago Stallions, after going 3-13 last year, won the division for the first time ever at 15-1. Then the Oakland Pillagers improved to 8-8, their first non-losing season, to make it back to the playoffs. And the Seattle Tenyo had 2-game improvement, even though statistically, as you see, they're like one of the worst teams in the league, but they managed to get into the playoffs with a losing record. So then, of course, the runners-up were the Kansas City Arrowheads, which were the Pittsburgh Power relocated. They had a terrible year as they went 5-11. The Mexico City Bolts, another expansion team, as they went 5-11. And the San Diego Mean Green Machines, which were the relocated of the LA Mean Green Machines, finished 4-12 for the second year in a row. So here's how the playoff stats were going into the playoffs. In the wild card round, it was the Jacksonville Scouts hosting the New York Gangsters, and whoever wins would visit the Indianapolis Rapid Stallions. Then after that, in the Western Conference, it would be the Seattle Tenyo visiting the Oakland Pillagers, and whoever wins that would face the Chicago Stallions. After that, it would be the Eastern Conference, Indianapolis hosting Jacksonville or New York, and then it would be the Western Conference Championship with Oakland or Seattle visiting Chicago, and whoever wins the conference championships would play in the championship. So let's get to the playoffs. So here is how the playoff bracket will look. As remember, this is the normal template I used for the 2020 season. As you see, I have a whole bunch of the game. The one to the bottom right closed out, as there's no way a game will be done there. So the top left, of course, is the first game, the New York Gangsters at the Jacksonville Scouts, and then it would be the Seattle Tenyo at the Oakland Pillagers. Then it's the Eastern Conference Championship with Indianapolis Rapid Stallions hosting New York or Jacksonville, and then it's the Western Conference Championship with Chicago Stallions hosting either Seattle or Oakland, and then it'll be the 2020 DCFL Championship, which we'll see who will go there when that time comes. So anyways, let's get to the first game in the Eastern Conference, as it's the New York Gangsters visiting the Jacksonville Scouts. This is a rematch of the conference championship game last year, and these two represented, there was no conference in 2018, but these two were the runner-ups in 2018 and 19 respectively for their title, but only one of them is going to make it to the conference championship again this year. Who will it be this time? Will it be the really good Jacksonville Scouts, or will the New York Gangsters, after falling short last year, manage to make it back? I guess we'll have to wait and see. So here's how the game is going, as the New York Gangsters start off at their 20. So in 1st and 10, they ran it and gained 2 yards, but then they had to go back 7 yards because of a 7-yard sack on 2nd and 8. So on 3rd and 15, they went to run it and gained just 4 yards. So they punted it back to Jacksonville, who returned it for 1 yard to start off at their 37. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On 2nd and 6, they went to pass, but suffered an 8-yard sack. So then it was 3rd and 13 at the Jacksonville 33. Jacksonville went to pass, but was intercepted by New York, who returned it all the way for a touchdown. And the extra point was good, and with that pick six, 11:46 into the first quarter, New York's already up 7-0. Well, that's not the start the Jacksonville Scouts won, but hey, this game is still far from over. So, they got the ball back, and they returned it 17 yards to start with their 22. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd and 8, they went to pass and complete for 21 yards, which sets them up at the Jacksonville 45. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass and completed for 46 yards to give them 1st and goal at the New York 9. Wow! So 1st and goal, they went to pass it and was incomplete. On 2nd goal, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards and the touchdown. And the extra point was good, and just like that, just 3 minutes later, 8:36 remaining in the first, and the game is now tied up at 7. Alright, with that, both teams scored really quickly. So, New York got the ball back, and they returned it 32 yards to start with the New York 33. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 5 yards. On 2nd 5, they went to run it and gained 9 yards and the first down. So 1st and 10 at the New York 47, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to run it and gained 5 yards. So on 3rd and 5, they went to run it and gained 6 yards and a first down, now at the Jacksonville 42. On 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards. On 2nd 3, they went to pass again and complete for 9 yards and another first down at the Jacksonville 26. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass and completed for 11 yards and another first down in the red zone, as it's now at the Jacksonville 15. So 1st and 10, they went to pass again, complete for 15 yards and a touchdown! And New York retakes the lead as 4:05 remaining in the first quarter. The extra point was good, and New York now leads 14-7. So far, looking like a pretty high-scoring game right now. Alright, so Jacksonville got the ball. They returned it 25 yards to start with the Jacksonville 31. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On 2nd and 7, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 3rd and 7, they went to pass and completed for 8 yards. And then on top of it, an offsides penalty from New York made it 1st and 5 at the Jacksonville 47. So on 1st and 5, they went to pass and complete for 5 yards and got the first down, as it's now 1st and 10 at the New York 48. So they went to pass but was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 3rd and 8, they went to pass but was incomplete. And then, the strangest thing is, they decided to go for it on 4th and 8. A pass, and it was complete for 17 yards and actually converted the fourth down. Incredible. Risky move, but it paid off. So it's now 1st and 10 at the New York 29. They went to pass and completed for 29 yards and a touchdown. And the extra point was good. And just 1 second remaining in the first quarter, the game is tied up again at 14. Wow, I cannot believe we've already had 28 points and we're still in the first quarter technically. So New York got the ball back. They did a touchback, as that would wrap up the first quarter, as this game is tied up 14. Wow, what a high-scoring game this already is. So to start off the second quarter, New York at their 2-yard line. 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 18 yards and the first down. Now it's at their 20. 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 4 yards. On 2nd 6, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards and the first down at the New York 33. So on 1st and 10, they ran it for 11 yards and the first down, now at the New York 44. 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On 2nd 6, they went to pass and complete for 3 yards. And on 3rd and 3, they went to pass and complete for 8 yards. And the first down, now at the Jacksonville 49. No, the Jacksonville 41, excuse me. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On 2nd and 7, they went to pass and complete for 4 yards. On 3rd and 3, they went to run it and gained nothing. So it was 4 and 3 at the Jacksonville 34. Instead of trying to go for the very long field goal, they decided to go for a 4th down as well. They decided to run it, but only gained 1 yard. So they turned it over, the second turnover of the game. So Jacksonville now started for their 33. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 6-yard sack, which made 2nd 16. They went to pass and complete for 10 yards. And on 3rd and 6, they went to a pass, but it was for no gain. So they punted it back to New York, start off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On 2nd 6, they went to pass it and completed 8 yards in the first down at the New York 32. 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 5 yards. On 2nd 5, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On 3rd and 1, they went to pass, but was incomplete, so they punted it back to Jacksonville, start off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 5 yards. And on 2nd 5, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On 3rd and 2, they went to run again. It was 1 yard short. Instead of going for a 4th down, they decided to just punt it. So New York started off at their 19. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained nothing. On 2nd 10, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. On 3rd and 9, they went to run it again, and they lost 2 yards. So they punted back to Jacksonville, who, thanks to a not really good punt, they got the ball at their 49 near midfield. So it was 1st and 10, they ran it for no gain. On 2nd 10, they went to pass and completed for 11 yards, as they now got the first down at the New York 40. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd 8, they went to run it, gained 9 yards, and the first down at the New York 29. 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to pass and complete for 4 yards, and with just time remaining, they managed to stop the clock with 1 second remaining. It was 3rd and 6 at the New York 25. They decided to go for the 42-yard field goal, and it was good! And with 1 second remaining, Jacksonville takes the lead 17-14. And of course, the half was not over yet, so New York got the ball back and they returned to 27 yards to wrap up the first half as Jacksonville leads 17-14 after the high-scoring first quarter. Second quarter was only a field goal, incredible. But Jacksonville had the ball to start off at their 20 to start the third quarter. 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 3 yards. On 2nd 7, they went to pass again, complete for 12 yards, and the first down to Jacksonville 35, excuse me. On 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 10 yards, and another first down to Jacksonville 45. 1st and 10, they went to pass it, and completed for 9 yards. On 2nd 1, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 1st and 10 at the New York 44, they went to run it, gained nothing. On 2nd 10, they went to run it again, gained 1 yard. And on 3rd and 9, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards and the first down at the New York 34. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 4 yards. On 2nd 6, they went to run and gained nothing. On 3rd and 6, they went to run it and gained 4 yards. So it was 4th and 2 at the New York 26. They decided to once again go for a 43-yard field goal this time, and it was good! And with 9:24 remaining in the third quarter, the Jacksonville Scouts now lead the New York Gangsters 20-14. Alright, so New York got the ball back, started for their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 5 yards. On 2nd and 5, they went to pass and incomplete. On 3rd and 5, they went to run it and gained 5 yards, just got enough for the first down at their 30. On 1st and 10, they ran and lost 2 yards. On 2nd and 12, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards. On 3rd and 5, they went to pass and complete for 5 yards, barely getting the first down again at their 40. 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 5 yards, excuse me. On 2nd 5, they went to run it and gained 5 yards again in the first down. So it was 1st and 10 at midfield. They ran it and gained 3 yards. On 2nd 7, they went to pass to complete for 46 yards to sum up 1st and goal to Jacksonville 1. So 1st and goal, they went to pass and got in for the end zone. Touchdown, and the extra point was good, and with 3:23 remaining in the third quarter, New York now retakes the lead 21-20. Alright, New York wasted a lot of time and they managed to take the lead again. Good for them. So, Jacksonville, they got the ball back and they returned it 13 yards itself at their 15. On 1st and 10, they ran it and gained 4 yards. On 2nd 6, they ran it and gained 10 yards in the first down to Jacksonville 29. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass it and complete for 11 yards in the first down to Jacksonville 40. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 13 yards and another first down to New York 47 now. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 10 yards and another first down as they're now at the New York 37. On 1st and 10, they ran it and got 2 yards. On 2nd 8, they went to run it again and gained 4 yards. And on 3rd and 4, they went to pass and complete for 26 yards to set them up 1st and goal at the New York 5. And with that, the third quarter was over as New York is holding on to a tight lead, 21-20. Alright, to start at the fourth quarter, it was 1st and goal at the 5. They went to run it and gained 4 yards, set up at the 1 yard line. On 2nd goal, they went to run it, but gained nothing. On 3rd and goal, they went to pass, but was incomplete. Instead of trying to go for it on 4th and goal, they went for 4th and 8 earlier. They decided to go for the 18-yard field goal, and it was good. And with that, 14-12 remaining in the fourth quarter, and Jacksonville now leads 23-21. Close game so far, as Jacksonville is holding on, but the game's not over yet. So New York got the ball and start off, returned to 24 yards to set them up at the 27, their 27. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it and gained nothing. On 2nd and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On 3rd and 6, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So they punted it back to Jacksonville, starting off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On 2nd and 6, they went to run it and gained 12 yards and the first down at their 36. So on 1st and 10, they completed for 9 yards. On 2nd 1, they went to run it but gained nothing. On 3rd and 1, they went to pass. No, run, I mean to say. And they got 4 yards and the first downs. They're now at the Jacksonville 49. So they punted it. 1st and 10th of Jacksonville 49, they ran it and gained 4 yards. On 2nd 6, they went to pass but suffered an 8-yard sack, which made it 3rd and 14. They went to pass but was incomplete. So they punted it back to New York, starting off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd and 8, they went to pass and completed for 38 yards, which sets them up 1st and 10 at the Jacksonville 40. As we have 7:20 remaining in the game too, as reference. 1st and 10, they went to pass and was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to pass but was incomplete, but an unnecessary roughness penalty made it 1st and 10 to Jacksonville 25. Yikes, that's bad for Jacksonville. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it and gained 6 yards. On 2nd 4, they went to run it, and gained just 1 yard. And then on 3rd and 3, they went to pass and complete for 18 yards into the end zone. Touchdown! And the New York Gangsters got the extra point. And with just 4:37 remaining in the game, New York now leads 28-23. Alright, the Jacksonville Scouts just have 4:37 remaining. They go downfield to tie it or take the lead. So they start off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to pass and completed for 13 yards in the first down to Jacksonville 33. So on 1st and 10, they ran it and gained nothing. On 2nd 10, they went to run it again and gained 3 yards. So on 3rd and 7, they went to pass, but was incomplete. And despite going for it early on 4th down and down with very little time remaining, they decided to punt it back to New York. Maybe, I guess, to try and stop them with time remaining. I don't know. So it was a touchback. So start off at their 20 with 3:15 remaining. They went to run it, gained 2 yards. But then on 2nd 3, Scouts suffered back-to-back penalties, making 1st and 10 at the New York 32. Are you kidding me? So on 1st and 10, they pass and complete for 5 yards. On 2nd 5, they went to pass and complete for 2 yards. On 3rd and 3, they went to run it and gained 1 yard. As time was winding down, they decided to punt it since they couldn't kneel it to stop the clock completely. But the punt was blocked! And unfortunately for New York, they couldn't recover it before being tackled in time. They got the ball back, but the time was expired. So New York held on to pull off the upset and beat Jacksonville 28-23 as they're heading to the Eastern Conference Championship for the 2nd year in a row, where they will visit the Indianapolis Rapid Stallions. So Jacksonville, once again, 2nd year in a row where they lost to New York, as New York is moving on. But we'll see what happens later on in the Eastern Conference. But now we gotta get to our next wild card game, as it's the Seattle Tenyo visiting the Oakland Pillagers, as this is the 2nd year in a row where we had a team with a losing record in the playoffs, just like Oakland was last year. This time, though, they're at home for the 2nd year in a row in the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Seattle Tenyo, I thought they were going to be the worst team in the league this year. They actually kind of were the worst team, but they somehow managed to pull out incredible amount of wins that I thought they weren't going to do, as they just managed to get back into the playoffs for the first time since 2018. So who will get this? The away team split it this year, so Seattle could be favored pretty well in this game. But we'll have to wait and see. Whoever wins this will visit the Chicago Stallions in the conference championship. So here we go with Seattle at Oakland. Alright, so the game started with Seattle getting the ball. They returned it 11 yards to start off at their 17. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 7-yard sack. So on 2nd and 17, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. And on 3rd and 16, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So they punted it back to Oakland, who was starting at their 26. Thanks to an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, it was 1st and 25 at their 26, which they went to run and gained 13 yards. On 2nd and 12, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 12, they went to pass, but was intercepted by Seattle, who is now starting off 1st and 10 at the Oakland 45. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 5 yards. On 2nd and 5, they went to run it, gained 5 yards. On 3rd and 2, they went to run it, gained 4 yards, and the first down at the Oakland 33. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 7-yard sack, which made 2nd 17. They went to pass, but was sacked and fumbled, and Oakland recovered it, as Oakland now has the ball at their 46. How about that? Not even 5 minutes in, and we've already had 2 turnovers. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 6 yards. On 2nd and 4, they went to pass and completed for 8 yards and the first down at the Seattle 40. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass, it was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to run it, and gained 4 yards. On 3rd and 6, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards and the first down at the Seattle 29. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 10, they went to run it and gained nothing. So it was 4th and 10 at the Seattle 29. They decided to go for the 46-yard field goal, but it was no good. No good, as the Seattle now has it at their 29. So on 1st and 10, they went to run, gained 2 yards. On 2nd and 8, they went to run it, gained and lost 8 yards on a sack. So on 3rd and 16, they went to pass, and it was incomplete. So they punted it back to Oakland, who's starting off. Returned at 17 yards to start at the Seattle 38. How about that for a big return? Bad punt that was. So 1st and 10, they went to pass and completed for 9 yards. On 2nd one, they went to run it, gained 7 yards, and the first down at the Seattle 22. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. They fumbled it, but then Oakland managed to recover it. So 2nd 6, they went to run it and went for 18 yards and into the end zone. Touchdown, Oakland. And with the extra point, 4:09 remaining in the first quarter, Oakland is now up 7-0. Alright, so Oakland finally got their first lead of the game. So Seattle starting off at their 12. It was 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. And on 3rd and 10, they went to pass and gained 5 yards. So they punted back to Oakland, starting off at their 49. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 3rd and 8, they went to pass and got 8 yards. So they punted back to Seattle, who started off at their 40, at their 20. 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 7-yard sack. So on 2nd 17, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 17, they went to pass, but was incomplete again. So on 4th and 13, they punted back to Oakland, who returned at 16 yards to the Seattle 43. Big returns they have. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained just 1 yard. On 2nd one, they went to run it, gained just 2 yards. On 3rd and 7, they went to run it, gained 5 yards. And with that, the first quarter was over, as Oakland is up 7-0. So to start the second quarter, it was 4th and 2 at the Seattle 35. They decided to go for a 52-yard field goal, even longer than the 46 one that they missed. But this time it was good! So with less than 15 minutes into the second quarter, Oakland is now up 10-0. Alright, Oakland up 10-0 already. Maybe they're starting to run away with it, as Seattle hasn't been able to get anything going so far. So Seattle start off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd and 8, they went to pass and complete for 8 yards in the first down at the Seattle 30. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd and 8, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards. On 3rd and 1, they went to run it, gained 1 yard, and the first down at the Seattle 40. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to pass and was incomplete. And on 3rd and 8, they went to run it, gained just 1 yard. So they punted back to Oakland, and once again, a big return of 19 yards to set up at the Oakland 43. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 6-yard sack. On 2nd and 16, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 13, they went to pass and was incomplete. On 2nd and 16, they completed for 3 yards, and then on 1st and 13, it was incomplete. My mistake. So, punt it back to Seattle, starting off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to pass and completed for 15 15 yards, 25 yards, sent up at the Seattle 40, which unfortunately was because of a delayed game penalty. Made it 1st and 15 at their 40. So 1st and 15, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On 2nd and 11, they went to pass and suffered a 7-yard sack. And then, on top of a penalty, made it 3rd and 23 at the Seattle 32. So they ran it on 3rd and 23 for a 2-yard gain. So they punted it back to Oakland, who started off at their 35. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was sacked for 7-yard loss. And then on 2nd 17, they went to pass, but was intercepted by Seattle, who returned it 14 yards to sum up 1st and 10 at the Oakland 23. How about that? So 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On 2nd 6, they went to pass, but suffered a 5-yard sack. And on 3rd and 11, they went to pass and completed for 13 yards as it was 1st and 10 at the Oakland 11 in the red zone. So 1st and 10, they went to pass and completed for 7 yards. On 2nd 3, they went to pass and completed 4 yards into the end zone as Seattle gets their first score of the game. 4:06 remained the second, and extra point was good as Oakland now leads 10-7. Wow, just like that, big momentum change right there for Oakland after that pick. Jeez. So Oakland returned the kick 32 yards to start with the Seattle 42, and thanks to an offsides penalty by Seattle, it made 1st and 5. So 1st and 5, they went to run it, pass, and got 9 yards in the first down. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass and suffered a 13-yard sack. Jeez. So 2nd 23, they went to run and lost 2 yards. On 3rd and 25, they went to pass but was incomplete. So they punted it back to Seattle. Start off at their 16. On 1st and 10, they went to run, gained nothing. On 2nd 10, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards. On 3rd and 1, they went to run and gained 5 yards. This is now 1st and 10 at the Seattle 30. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 5 yards. On 2nd 5, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 3rd and 5, they went to pass and completed for 8 yards and first down at the Seattle 43. But the half was over as going into the 3rd quarter, Oakland leads 10-7. All right now, so Oakland starting off. Thanks to a Seattle penalty, too, it was 1st and 5 at the Oakland 25. So on 1st and 5, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 2nd 5, they went to pass and complete for 8 yards. And then the first down at the Oakland 33. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass, and gained 1 yard. On 2nd 9, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards. And the first down at the Oakland 43. 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 5 yards. On 2nd 5, they went to run it, gained 5 yards, and another first down at the Seattle 47 now. 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards, and then a false start penalty on the Oakland Pillagers made 2nd 13 at midfield. They went to pass and complete for 9 yards. On 3rd and 4, they went to run it, gained 1 yard before fumbling it, but recovered it, thankfully. And then on 4th and 3 at the Seattle 40, instead of trying for a field goal or punt it, they decided to go for it. On 4th down, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So they turned it over as Seattle now has it 1st and 10 at their 40. On 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 8 yards. On 2nd 2, they went to run it, gained 5 yards in the first down at the Oakland 47. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 10 yards and the first down at the Oakland 37. 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards. 3rd and 1 at the Oakland 28, they went to run it and broke through for a huge gain of 28 yards and the touchdown. And with 6:53 remaining in the 3rd quarter after the extra point, Seattle now leads 14-10. What a comeback they've made so far. Oh my goodness, what a turnaround Seattle has made now. Jeez. So Oakland, after their two touchdowns they allowed off the turnovers, they got it and returned to 28 yards to start off at the Oakland 30. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. But thanks to a tripping penalty by Seattle, it made 1st and 10 at the Oakland 40, so they got 10 yards off of it. 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained nothing. On 2nd and 10, they went to run it, gained 8 yards. On 3rd and 2, they went to run it and gained 7 yards, and the first down at the Seattle 45. 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd and 8, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 3rd and 6, they went to pass and completed for 7 yards and the first down at the Seattle 34. So, on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained nothing. On 2nd 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 3rd and 10, they went to pass, and it was incomplete. So, at the 34, you would think maybe they'll try for a field goal. I mean, they made from 52 yards out. Nope. This time, they decided to punt it even though it was closer for a field goal. Man, Oakland is all over the place with their decisions in this game. So, Seattle started off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, pass and gained nothing. On 2nd and 10, they went to pass, was incomplete. And on 3rd and 10, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards. So they punted it back to Oakland, who returned to 10 yards to stop at the Seattle 49. So 1st and 10, they went to run it and gained 19 yards in the first down as they're now at the Seattle 30. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. On 2nd and 9, they went to pass and completed for 4 yards. And with that, the first quarter was over. Seattle's leading 14-10. So on 3rd and 5, they went to pass and completed for 5 yards in the first down at the Seattle 20. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd and 8, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards. And on 3rd and 1, they went to pass, but suffered a big sack of 6 yards. A huge play right there for Seattle, preventing Oakland from getting a 1st and goal, possibly getting another touchdown. So it was 4th and 7 at the Seattle 17. Oakland decided to go for the 34-yard field goal, and it was good. And with 12:47 remaining in the game, Seattle only leads 14-13. Alright, so Seattle only leading by 1 point now. Got start off with their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On 2nd and 6, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards in the first down. But then, thanks to a delay of game penalty, and then a penalty on Oakland too, it was 1st and 10 at the Seattle 33. So 1st and 10, they went to pass, it was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to run it, gained 6 yards. On 3rd and 4, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards in the first down at the Seattle 46. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. 2nd and 8, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 3rd and 6, they went to pass, and it was complete for 15 yards, as it was now 1st and 10 at the Oakland 35. 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 22 yards, as it was now 1st and 10 at the Oakland 13. How about that? Seattle's on a roll right now. So 1st and 10, they went to pass, but it was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to pass and completed for 5 yards. On 3rd and 5, they went to pass and completed for 4 yards. It was 4th and 1 at the Oakland 4. I thought maybe they would take a risk and go for it on 4th down, but nope, they decided to go for the 21-yard field goal, and it was good. So with that, 6:44 remaining in the game, Seattle's now leading 17-13. Time's running out for Oakland, but hey, they still have time to take the lead. So they got the ball, starting off at their return to 24 yards, stuff at their Oakland 30. And then thanks to a too many men on the field penalty for Seattle, it was 1st and 5 at the Oakland 35 now. So 1st and 5, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On 2nd and 2, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 2, they went to pass and complete for 4 yards in the first down at the Oakland 42. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to pass, but was complete for 3 yards, On 3rd and 7, they went to run it and gained only 3 yards. So it was now 4th and 4. They decided to punt it to Seattle, who returned it 1 yard, off at the Seattle 20. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 7-yard sack. On 2nd 17, they went to pass, run it, gained 4 yards. On 3rd and 13, they went to pass and complete for 6 yards. Waste of time, you'd think they'd be running it down. Instead, they punted it back to Oakland, who's now at their 43 with just 2:14 remaining. Still have a chance to maybe get a touchdown, but they're going to go up against a really good defense, remember. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd and 8, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 3rd and 6, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards in the first down at the Seattle 44. So on 1st and 10, they went to run, gained nothing. On 2nd and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. And then on 4th and 10, with just 25 seconds remaining, they decided to go for the pass and completed for 17 yards and the first down at the Seattle 27. They tried to get to the huddle to time it out, spike it, but they couldn't as time ran out, and Seattle pulled off the upset as they won it 17-13. And wow, just like that, Jacksonville and Oakland, the conference championships runner-up last year, didn't even make it to the conference championship this year. How about that? And Seattle, 6-10, and they actually won a playoff game, and they're 1 game away from going to the championship. unbelievable. As now our conference championships, New York at Indianapolis, and then Seattle at Chicago. So, we get to our Eastern Conference Championship. New York at Indianapolis. This is a rematch, remember, of the championship last year. Because remember, Indianapolis was in the Western Conference last year, and I decided to have them in the Eastern Conference this year. So, our championship rematch from last year. Could Indianapolis make it to championship number 3? Or will New York get revenge, dethrone the 2-time champion, and make it back to the championship after falling short of last year? We are now going to find out, as here we go for an incredible game looks like. Alright now, so here we go with the Eastern Conference Championship as New York started off at their 18. On 1st and 10, they ran it but lost 2 yards. On 2nd and 12, they ran it and gained 7 yards. On 3rd and 5, they went to run it and gained nothing. So they punted it back to Indianapolis, who returned it 10 yards to their 43. On 1st and 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to pass and complete for 14 yards in the first down at the New York 43. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was intercepted by New York, who returned it 26 yards to start off at the Indianapolis 38. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 9-yard sack. So 2nd and 19, they went to run, gained nothing. On 3rd and 19, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So they punted back to Indianapolis, who started off at their 16. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On 2nd and 7, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. On 3rd and 6, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So they punted back to New York. And thanks to the bad punt, they managed to return it 7 yards to start off at their 46. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards. On 2nd and 3, they went to pass, but was fumbled and recovered by Indianapolis. Once again, has it at the New York 47. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass and was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 3rd and 8, they went to run and lost 2 yards. So on 4th and 10, they punted back to New York, starting for their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd one, they went to run it for 1 yard. On 3rd and 7, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So they punted back to Indianapolis, who went on to return it 54 yards into the end zone for a punt back for a touchdown. And the extra point was good, and 6:42 remain in the first. Indianapolis now leads 7-0. Alright, so now Indianapolis kicked it off to New York, who returned it 49 yards to start off at the Indianapolis 48. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards. 2nd one, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 31, they went to pass but was incomplete. Really surprised going for passes on 2 straight 2nd ones and 3rd and 1. And then on 4th and 1, they decided to run it, go for the risk, and they got it with a 2-yard gain, so they converted to 4th down. So on 1st and 10 at the Indianapolis 37, they went to run it, gained 5 yards. 2nd and 5, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 3rd and 5, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards in the first down at the Indianapolis 25. 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 6-yard sack. So on 2nd and 16, they went to pass, but suffered another 6-yard sack. And on 3rd and 22, they ran it for 1 yard. So it was 4th and 21 at the New York 36. No, Indianapolis 37, excuse me. They decided to punt it back to Indianapolis to start off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they ran it, passed for 5 yards. On 2nd 5, they ran it for 1 yard. 3rd and 4, they ran it and gained only 3 yards. So they punted back to New York, starting off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 42 yards and the first down at the Indianapolis 38. As the first quarter was over, as Indianapolis leads 7-0. So, to start the second quarter, New York on 1st and 10 went to run it, gained 5 yards. On 2nd 5, they went to run and gained another 5 yards in the first down at the Indianapolis 28. On 1st and 10, they went to pass and it was complete for 2 yards. 2nd 8, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 3rd and 8, they went to run it and gained nothing. So it was 4th and 8 at the Indianapolis 26. They decided to go for the 43-yard field goal, and it was good. And with that, 12:26 remaining in the second, Indianapolis now leads 7-3. So they punted back to Indianapolis, who returned it 14 yards to start off at their 15. 1st and 10, they ran it for 1 yard. On 2nd 9, they went to pass and complete for 10 yards in the first down. So on 1st and 10 at the Indianapolis 26, they went to a pass. It was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to pass and complete for 25 yards in the first down at the New York 40 something. And then an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Gangsters gave it 1st and 10 to New York 34. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they ran for 13 yards in the first down at the New York 21. So 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 13 yards and another first down at the New York 8. So it was 1st and goal, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards. On 2nd goal, they went to run it and ran it in for the touchdown. And the extra point was good. So 8:46 remaining in the second. Indianapolis now leads 14-3. So they punted back, not punted, kicked it off to New York, who returned it 18 yards to start off at their 24. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was intercepted by Indianapolis, who returned it all the way back for a pick 6. And the extra point was good, and just like that, in just 25 seconds, Indianapolis scored 2 touchdowns. As 8:11 in the second quarter, they're now leading 21-3. So after that debacle, New York got the kickback and they touched back. So they started their 20. On 1st and 10, they ran for 12 yards and the first down at the New York 32. 1st and 10, they ran for no gain. On 2nd and 10, they went to pass, was incomplete. On 3rd and 10, they went to run it, gained 6 yards. So they punted back to Indianapolis, who returned it 2 yards to start off at their 38. Their 27, I mean to say. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 11 yards, and the first down to Indianapolis 38. 1st and 10, they ran it for 1 yard. On 2nd and 9, they ran it for no gain. On 3rd and 9, they went to pass and completed for 14 yards in the first down at the New York 47. On 1st and 10, they went to pass and completed for 12 yards and another first down at the New York 35. 1st and 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to pass, but Love suffered a 6-yard loss. So on 3rd and 16, they went to run it and gained just 4 yards. They punted back to New York and starting off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 3rd and 10, they went to pass again and suffered a 5-yard loss. So they punted back to Indianapolis, starting off with their 35. On 1st and 10, they ran it for 9 yards. On 2nd one, they went to run it, gained 1 yard, another first down at the Indianapolis 45. On 1st and 10, they ran it for no gain. On 2nd 10, they ran it for 3 yards, and the first half was over as Indianapolis leads 21-3. Okay, so the second half started with Indianapolis starting off at their 20. 1st and 10, they ran it, passed, it was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they ran it and gained 5 yards. On 3rd and 5, they went to pass and complete for 6 yards and another first down to Indianapolis 31. 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 16 yards as it was now first and down at the Indianapolis 47. 1st and 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards. On 3rd and 3, they went to pass but was incomplete. So they punted back to New York, starting off at their 20. 1st and 10, they ran it, gained 5 yards. On 2nd 5, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards as it was now first down at the New York 32. On 1st and 10, they went to pass but suffered a 7-yard sack. 2nd 17, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On 3rd and 14, they went to pass and complete for 6 yards. So 4th and 8, they punted back to Indianapolis. On 1st and 10, at their 21, they went to pass, but was intercepted by New York, who returned it 6 yards to give New York the first down at the Indianapolis 25. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 4-yard sack. On 2nd 14, they went to pass and completed into the end zone for a touchdown for New York. And the extra point was good, and 8:05 remaining in the third quarter. Indianapolis now only leads 21-10. So how about that? We both had points off of turnovers. So Indianapolis started off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to pass and completed for 4 yards. On 2nd 6, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. On 3rd and 5, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So they punted back to New York, returned it 16 yards to start off at their 37. 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 3rd and 8, they went to pass and complete for 10 yards, and the first down to New York 49. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they ran it for 5 yards, and they're now at the Indianapolis 46. On 3rd and 5, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. So they punted it back to Indianapolis, starting off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to pass. It was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they ran it for 3 yards. On 3rd and 7, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards in the first down to Indianapolis 32. 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 9 yards. On 2nd one, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 31, they went to pass but suffered a massive 12-yard sack. Jesus! as they punted back to New York, who lost 3 yards off of it. Starting off at their 28 on 1st and 10, they ran it, gained 1 yard. On 2nd and 9, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 9, they went to run it, gained 5 yards. So they punted it back to Indianapolis, starting off at their 20. 1st and 10, they ran it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd and 8, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 8, they went to pass and run it and gained 3 yards. So they punted it back to New York, starting off at their 22. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On 2nd 7, they went to pass, but was incomplete. And with that, the third quarter was over as Indianapolis leads 21-10. So, start off the fourth quarter on 3rd and 7, they went to pass and complete for 4 yards. So it was 4th and 3, they punted back to Indianapolis, who returned it 15 yards to start off at the Indianapolis 46. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. On 2nd and 9, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 9, they went to pass and complete for 29 yards to set up 1st and 10 at the New York 24. And then on 1st and 10, they went to pass again and complete for 21 yards, made it 1st and goal at the New York 3. On 1st and goal, they went to pass, but suffered a 6-yard sack. On 2nd goal, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and goal, they went to run it and into the end zone for another touchdown for Indianapolis. As 11:03 remain in the fourth, extra point was good as they're now leading 28-10. Alright, so New York got it back. They returned it 3 yards instead of going for a touchback, so it was 1st and 10 at the New York 4. So they went to run it and was sent all the way back in the end zone for a safety, just like that. Oh my God, the blunders for New York continue, as with now 10:58 remaining in the fourth, now Indianapolis leads 30-10 and possibly the first ever safety in DCFL playoff history. Oh my. So of course, the free kick went back to Indianapolis, who returned it, lost 3 yards off of it. So it was 1st and 10 at their 21. They went to pass and complete for 14 yards to make it first down at the Indianapolis 35. They went to then run it, gained 3 yards. 2nd 7, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On 3rd and 4, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So they punted back to New York, who started off at their 16. 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to run it, lost 2 yards. On 3rd and 12, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So they punted back to Indianapolis, start off at their 40. 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So on 2nd and 10, they went to run it and gained 8 yards. On 3rd and 2, they went to run it, gained 4 yards on the first down at the New York 48. So 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. 2nd 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. And then it became 3rd and 5 because of a penalty on New York. So 3rd and 5, they went to pass and complete for 8 yards and another first down. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 18 yards and another first down at the New York 17. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On 2nd 7, they went to pass, complete for 11 yards, but then fumbled it, and New York recovered it at their 3. So they got lucky right there, New York did. So it was now 1st and 10 at their 3. They went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd and 8, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 8, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. So it was 4th and 5. Do or die moment for New York. They had to go for it. So on 4th and 5, they went to pass, but was incomplete, as Indianapolis now has it 1st and goal at the New York 8. So on the next play, they went to pass and complete for 8 yards into the end zone. Touchdown Indianapolis, and the extra point was good. And now with 3:07 remaining in the game, Indianapolis leads 37-10. Oh my goodness, 16 unanswered points Indianapolis scored. That's pretty sad for them. For New York at least. So, New York, starting off at their 20 on 1st and 10, they went to pass, incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards. On 3rd and 3, they went to pass and complete for 3 yards and a first down at the New York 30. 1st and 10, they ran it, gained nothing. On 2nd 10, they ran it, gained 1 yard. On 3rd and 9, they went to pass and complete for 3 yards. So it's 4th and 6 at the 34. They had to go for it. So they went for it, they ran it, and gained nothing. So they turned it over again. So with 1st and 10 to New York 34, Indianapolis ran it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd 8, they went to run and gained nothing. And with that, the clock ran out as Indianapolis won it 37-10 to clinch their first Eastern Conference Championship, their third straight conference championship overall, as they are headed to the championship for the 3rd year in a row to repeat. So, Indianapolis, for the 3rd year in a row, is here. But now it's time to find out who are they going to play. Will it either be the Seattle 10-0, who stunned us all by getting here at 6-10 and actually beating Oakland? Or will the Chicago Stallions make their first ever championship appearance? And how about that, possibly having a 15-1 team go up against another 15-1 team? We are going to find out. But first things first, we have to find out who's going to win the Western Conference Championship. So let's get it started. Alright, so here we go. As Seattle start off at their 20. First and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On second 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On third and 10, they went to run it and gained 4 yards. So they punted it back to Chicago, who start off at their 28. On first and 10, they went to pass and complete for 23 yards to have first down at the Seattle 49. So first and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On second and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On third and 6, they went to run it, gained 6 yards, and the first down at the Seattle 39. First and 10, they went to run it, gained nothing. On second 10, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On third and 7, they went to run it, gained 6 yards. So it was 4th and 1 to Seattle 30. They decided to go for the 47-yard field goal instead of trying to go for a 4th down, and it was good. And with 11:09 remaining in the first, Chicago's now up 3-0. All right, and with that, Seattle got back and they returned at 40 yards and started with their 44. On first and 10, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards. Second one, they went to run it, gained 3 yards in the first down at the Chicago 44. First and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 6-yard sack. So on second 16, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. On third and 15, they went to run it, but gained nothing. So they punted back to Chicago, who returned at 7 yards to start with their 25. On first and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On second 6, they went to run it, gained 4. On third and 2, they went to pass and complete for 4 yards in the first down at the Chicago 37. First and 10, they went to run and gained 19 yards. And then back-to-back penalties on both teams made it first and 10 at the Seattle 44. So at first and 10, they went to pass, complete for 9 yards. Second one, they went to run it, gained 12 yards in the first down at the Seattle 23. First and 10, they ran it for 5 yards. Second 5, they went to pass and complete for 3 yards. On third and 2, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. So it's 4th and 1 to Seattle 14. You're thinking, good opportunity to maybe try and force it and go for it on 4th down, but nope. They decided to go for the field goal from 31 yards out, and it was good. And with that, 3:20 remaining in the first, Chicago's now up 6-0. Man, you better hope Chicago don't regret going for it there, because that could maybe come back to bite them in the ass possibly. Alright, so Seattle got it, and returned at 30 yards to start with their 24. On first and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On second 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 6-yard sack. And then on third and 16, they went to pass and suffered another sack. So on 4th and 22, they punted back to Chicago, starting off at the Seattle 48. My goodness. First and 10, they went to run, gained 4 yards. Second and 6, they went to pass and complete for 4 yards. On third and 2, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards and the first down at the Seattle 33. All right, first and 10, they went to pass but was incomplete, and with that, the first quarter was over. Chicago leads 6-0. So start the second quarter. First and 10, they went to pass and ran it for 11 yards and the first down at the Seattle 22. First and 10, they went to pass and completed into the end zone for the touchdown. As the extra point was good, and 13:38 remaining in the second quarter, Chicago's now up 13-0. Alright, so Seattle starting off at their 4. Oh my god. On first and 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. Second 10, they went to run it and gained 12 yards. First down at their 16. First and 10, they ran it for a yard. On second 9, they went to pass and complete for 13 yards, as they're now at the Seattle 30. First and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On second 6, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards in the first down at the Seattle 41. First and 10, they went to run it, gained nothing. On second 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 7-yard sack. On third and 17, they went to pass and complete for 8 yards. So it's 4th and 9. They punted back to Chicago, who returned it 7 yards and started at their 35. First and 10, they went to pass, run it, gained 8 yards. On second 2, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards and the first down at the Chicago at midfield. First and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 9-yard sack. On second 19, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. On third and 19, they went to run it and gained 6 yards. So they punted back to Seattle, who start off at their 20. First and 10, they went to pass, complete for 6 yards. Second 4, they went to pass and complete for 8 yards, and the first down to Seattle 34. First and 10, they went to pass, complete for 6 yards. On second 4, they went to run it and got 4 yards and the first down at the Seattle 44. First and 10, they went to run, gained 2 yards. On second 8, they went to pass, was incomplete. On third and 8, they went to run it, and gained 5 yards. So it was 4th and 3, they punted it back to Chicago, who returned it 11 yards to set up at their 23. So on first and 10, they went to pass and completed for 67 yards to make it 1st and goal at the Seattle 10. So on first and 10, they ran it for 2 yards, and since they were running out of time, they decided to go for the 25-yard field goal instead of trying to risk it from 8 yards out, and it was good. And with that, just 29 seconds remain in the second. Chicago's now up 16-0. I bet Chicago wished they could have had made 20-0 if they got that touchdown instead. But anyway, Seattle got it. They started with their 20. On first and 10, they ran it for 3 yards. On second 7, they went to pass and got 5 yards. But the first half was over as Chicago leads 16-0. So in the third quarter, Chicago started off. First and 10, they went to pass and complete for 3 yards. On second 7, they went to pass but was incomplete. On third and 7, they went to pass and complete for 10 yards and the first down at their 33. First and 10, they ran it for 8 yards. On second 2, they went to run it, gained nothing. On third and 2, they went to pass and complete for 4 yards and the first down at the Chicago 45. First and 10, they went to run it and gained 3 yards. Second 7, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. On third and 6, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. So they punted back to Seattle, start off at their 16. First and 10, they went to pass and complete for 10 yards and the first down at the Seattle 26. First and 10, they ran it, gained 1 yard. On second 10, they went to pass and complete for 8 yards. On third and 2, they went to run it, gained 3 yards and the first down at the Seattle 37. First and 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. On second 10, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On third 7, they went to pass and complete for 19 yards. And then a penalty on Chicago made it first and 10 at the Chicago 31. On first and 10, they went to pass and completed for 4 yards. Second 6, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On third and 3, they went to pass but suffered a 5-yard sack. So it was 4th and 8 at the Chicago 29. They decided to go for the 46-yard field goal, and it was good. And with that, Seattle put their first points on the board. 5:36 remain in the third, and Chicago's now up 16-3. Alright, so Chicago got it, starting off with their 20. On first and 10, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards. On second 3, they went to run it, gained 3 yards, and the first down at their 30. First and 10, they ran it, gained 1 yard. On second 9, they went to pass but was incomplete. On third and 9, they went to run it, gained 7 yards. They decided to punt it back to Seattle, who returned it 17 to start at their 49. First and 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. On second 10, they went to pass and suffered a 6-yard sack. On third and 16, they went to pass and ran it and gained 5 yards. So they punted it back to Chicago, who returned it 15 yards to set up at their 35. First and 10, they went to run it, gained nothing. On second and 10, they went to run it, gained nothing. On third and 20, thanks to a penalty, they went to pass but was incomplete. So they punted it back to Seattle. Starting off with their 22 on first and 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. And with that, the third quarter was over as Chicago leads 16-3, just 15 minutes away for Western Conference champion to be crowned. So on second 10, Seattle went back to pass but suffered a 5-yard sack. On third and 15, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. So they punted it back to Chicago, who lost 3 yards, starting off at their 45. First and 10, they went to pass and complete for 6 yards. On second 4, they went to pass and complete for 6 yards. And the first down at the Seattle 41. First and 10, they went to run it, gained nothing. On second 10, they went to pass and complete for 16 yards as they now have a first down at the Seattle 25. First and 10, they went to pass and was incomplete. On second 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. On third and 10, they went to pass but suffered a 6-yard sack. So they punted it back to Seattle. Start off at their 20. On first and 10, they went to pass but was sacked for a 6-yard loss. On second 16, they went to pass but suffered an 8-yard sack. On third and 24, they went to pass but was incomplete. They punted it back to Chicago, who started off at the Seattle 46. On first and 10, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards. On second one, they went to pass and complete for 4 yards in the first down at the Seattle 37. And then a penalty on the Stallions made it first and 15 at the Seattle 38. On first and 10, they ran, and broke through and went 38 yards into the end zone for another touchdown. The extra point was good, and with 6:45 remaining, Chicago now leads 23-3. Chicago starting to run away with it. Seattle needs one hell of a miracle to get back into this. So they got the ball back, and then they returned it 97 yards for a kickoff return for a touchdown. Just what they needed. And just like that, in just like 20 seconds, Seattle cut the deficit as they're now trailing 23-10 with 6:29 remaining. Wow, what a play that was. But instead of going for the onside, they decided to kick it off to Chicago, who returned it 14 yards to start with their 6th. On 1st and 10, they ran it for 2 yards. 2nd and 8, they went to pass it complete for 5 yards. On 3rd and 3, they went to run it and gained 4 yards. And the first down at the Chicago 17. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 7-yard loss on a sack. 2nd 17, they went to run it, gained 6 yards. On 3rd and 11, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So they punted it back to Seattle, who was run out of time. They need something here really quickly. 1st and 10 at the Chicago 46, they went to run it, gained 4 yards, fumbled it, but they managed to recover it. 2nd 6, they ran it and lost a yard. You shouldn't be running, you should be passing. 3rd 7, they went to pass and complete for 8 yards in the first down at the Chicago 35. 1st and 10, they ran it, gained 3 yards. On 2nd 7, they went to pass, but suffered an 8-yard sack. On 3rd and 15, they went to pass and complete for 3 yards. And it was 4th and 12 at the Chicago 37. They decided to run it instead of passing it, and it gained nothing as they turned it over. So Chicago starting off at their 37. 1st and 10, they ran it, no gain. On 2nd 10, they ran it for 3 yards, and the game was over as Chicago beat Seattle 23-10 and has won the 2020 Western Conference Championship as they are heading to the DCFL Championship for the first time ever. We gotta give credit to Seattle somehow making it to the playoffs at 6-10 and actually winning a playoff game, make it to the conference championship the second time in this franchise's history, but just wasn't enough as it's now come down to this, the 2020 DCFL Championship, as it's going to be between two 15-1 teams. The Indianapolis Rapid Stallions, the two-time defending champs, trying to make it title number 3, but they're going to have to go up against the team that they gave their only loss to, the Chicago Stallions, who are in their the championship for the first time ever. These two have been the two best teams in the league the last 2 years, so they've been pretty big rivalries too if you think about it. Chicago got their only loss by Indianapolis this year, just like Chicago gave Indianapolis their only loss last year. So, and Indianapolis barely won that one. So this is going to be probably one hell of a defensive struggle, or maybe it could be a blowout. We're going to find out. Will Indianapolis make it title number 3, or will Chicago get their first title and end the dynasty? We're going to find out, as here we go. It's time for the 2020 DCFL Championship. Okay, so this year, Indianapolis is the Eastern Conference champion, was designated as the home team. So Chicago started off with the ball. So Chicago, starting off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd and 8, they went to pass, but suffered a 5-yard sack. And then it became 3rd and 8 thanks to a penalty on the Rapid Stallions. So on 3rd and 8, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So they punted it back to Indianapolis, who started off at their 46. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 6-yard sack. On 2nd 16, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On 3rd and 13, they went to run it and gained 3 yards. So they punted it back to Chicago, starting off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was sacked for a 6-yard loss. On 2nd 16, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd 16, they went to pass, but was intercepted by Indianapolis, who returned it 9 yards to have 1st and 10 at the Chicago 13. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, run and gained 5 yards, and then it was a penalty in Chicago, made it 2nd and 1 at the Chicago 4. So on 2nd and 1, they went to run it and gained 4 yards and into the end zone for the touchdown. As the extra point was good, and with 9:55 in the first, Indianapolis strikes first and leads 7-0. Alright, so Chicago now got the ball as they start off at the started off at their 23, excuse me, I'm getting my words all mixed up, thanks to a Rapid Stallions penalty. So it became 1st and 5. They went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd 3, they went to run it, gained 5 yards in the first down at the Chicago 30. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. On 2nd 6, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards. And the first down at the Chicago 43. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, it was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 10, they went to pass and complete for 6 yards, but not enough. So they punted it back to Indianapolis, starting off at their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to run, gained 4 yards. On 2nd 6, they went to pass and suffered a 12-yard sack. And then on 3rd and 8, they went, 3rd and 18, they went to pass again, but suffered another sack of 5 yards, pushed them all the way back to near their goal line. So on 4th and 23, they punted back to Chicago. And thanks to a bad punt from that far out, it was starting off at the Indianapolis 40. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass, complete for 7 yards. On 2nd 3, they went to pass, was incomplete. But then a Rapid Stallions penalty made it 1st and 10 at the Indianapolis 23. So 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. On 2nd 9, they went to pass and complete for 4 yards. On 3rd and 5, they went to pass and complete for 6 yards in the first down at the Indianapolis 12. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, lost 6 yards, and then fumbled it, and Indianapolis recovered it and returned it 12 yards to set them up at 1st and 10 at their 30. Oh my goodness, Indianapolis with the turnovers already. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 8 yards, fumbled it, but recovered it. On 2nd 2, they went to run it, gained 5 yards, and a first down at their Indianapolis 38, which then became 1st and 5 at the 48 because of a Staley's penalty. So on 1st and 5, they went to run it, gained 8 yards, and the first down at the Chicago 44. 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered a 7-yard sack. And with that, the first quarter was over as Indianapolis leads 7-0. Alright, so on 2nd 17, they went to pass. It was incomplete. On 3rd and 17, they went to pass and complete for 7 yards. So they punted back to Chicago. Starting off at their 12, on 1st and 10, they went to pass, but suffered an 8-yard sack. On 2nd 18, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 18, they went to run it, gained just 1 yard. So they punted back to Indianapolis, who had a good return to set them up at the Chicago 46. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete, as this has been a defensive struggle so far. So they punted back to Chicago, start off at their 14. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. And then a Staley's penalty made 2nd 17 at their 7. So on 2nd 17, they went to pass, but was intercepted by Indianapolis, who returned it all the way for a pick 6. And with that, the extra point was good, and 11:44 into the game, second quarter, Indianapolis is now up 14-0. Oh boy, Indianapolis' defense is really showing up here. So Chicago got it, and they got a good return of 20 yards to set them up at their 24. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was intercepted again by Indianapolis, who then returned it 28 yards for another pick 6. Oh my goodness! 2 pick 6s in 20 seconds! And the extra point was good. So Indianapolis now leads 21-0. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. It's a blowout defensive struggle, and Indianapolis is in control. This is insane. All right. So after that, Chicago got the ball, turned it 17 yards. So it was 1st and 10 or 23. They went to pass, but suffered an 8-yard sack. On 2nd 18, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 3rd and 18, they went to pass, and it was intercepted again! And Indianapolis returned it all the way to the 1! Oh my god! So, it was 1st and goal. They went to run it and lost 5 yards off of it. 2nd goal, they went to pass, but was complete for 3 yards. On 3rd and goal, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So it was 4th and goal at the Chicago 3, and Indianapolis decided to go for a 21-yard field goal, already up 3 scores, and it was good. And with that, Indianapolis now leads 24-0, and we're still 9:18 into the second quarter. Oh my god. Oh my god, what a game this has been so far. What a terrible performance Chicago's showing. So anyways, Chicago Starting off at their 9, on 1st and 10, they went to pass, complete for 7 yards. On 2nd free, they went to run it, gained nothing. On 3rd and free, they went to run it and got 10 yards in the first down at the Chicago 26. 1st and 10, they went to pass, completed for 4 yards. On 2nd 6, they went to pass, but suffered an 11-yard sack. So on 3rd and 17, they went to pass, but was incomplete. So they punted back to Indianapolis. Starting off at the Chicago 43, again, good field position. 1st and 10, they went to pass and completed for 11 yards. 1st and 10 to Chicago 32. They went to run it, gained nothing. On 2nd 18, they went to pass, but suffered a 6-yard sack. And on 3rd 16, they went to pass, but was incomplete. They decided to punt it back to Chicago, which made a touchback. So, thanks to Indianapolis penalty, it was 1st and 5 at the Chicago 35. They went to run it and lost 6 yards. So on 2nd 11, they went to pass, but was complete of 3 yards. On 3rd and 8, they went to pass and complete for 8 yards. And the first down at the Chicago 32, they went to pass and suffered a 7-yard sack. So on 2nd 17, they went to pass and complete for 21 yards. As it's now 1st and 10 at the Chicago 46. 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 8 yards. So it was 2nd 2, they went to pass, was incomplete. On 3rd and 2, they went to pass and complete for 3 yards in the first down at the Indianapolis 43. 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 10 yards in the first down at the Indianapolis 33. So they managed to get the timeout just in time, as it was just 5 seconds remaining in the game, the second quarter. They decided to go for the 50-yard field goal, and it was good! Barely! And with that, Chicago now cut the deficit from 24 to 3. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe it's the time at the end of the play, or right before the play or whatever, because there was still 5 seconds on the clock despite the field goal. So Indianapolis got the ball back, and they started for their 20. On 1st and 10, they ran for 2 yards, as that finally ended the second quarter, as Indianapolis in a dominant lead right now, 24 to 3. So Indianapolis now had the ball to start the second half. Starting off with their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to run it, pass it, and gained 9 yards. On 3rd and 1, they went to run it and gained 3 yards in the first down at the Indianapolis 32. 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 3 yards. On 2nd 7, they went to run it, gained 6 yards. On 3rd and 1, they went to run it, gained 2 yards in the first down at the Indianapolis 43. On 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 4 yards. And then a Staley's penalty made 1st and 10 at the Chicago 34. So on 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained 6 yards. And then another Chicago penalty made 1st and 10 at the Chicago 14. Terrible discipline right now in this drive for Chicago. 1st and 10, Indianapolis went to pass, was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. On 3rd and 9, they went to run it, gained 7 yards. So it was 4th and 2 at the Chicago 6. Instead of trying to make it even more unlikely to make the comeback, they decided to go for the 23-yard field goal instead, and it was good. So with 9:47 remaining in the third, Indianapolis now leads 27 to 3. Alright, so now Chicago got the ball. We're starting off with their 20. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, complete for 9 yards. On 2nd 1, they went to pass and complete for 5 yards in the first down to Chicago 34. 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to run it, pass, but suffered a 6-yard sack. On 3rd and 16, they went to run it and gained nothing. So, on 4th and 16, they punted, and Indianapolis returned it for 6 yards to start with their 28. 1st and 10, they went to pass and complete for 10 yards in the first down at their 38. 1st and 10, they went to pass, complete for 6 yards, and then a rapid Stallions penalty made 2nd and 19 at their 29, which they went to pass but was incomplete. On 3rd and 19, they went to run it and gained 5 yards, so they punted back to Chicago. Starting off at their 32, on 1st and 10, they went to pass. It was incomplete. On 2nd and 10, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards. On 3rd and 1, they went to run it, gained 1 yard in the first down to Chicago 42. 1st and 10, they went to pass, but was incomplete. On 2nd 10, they went to pass and complete for 14 yards and the first down at the Indianapolis 44. On 1st and 10, they went to pass, run and gained nothing. On 2nd 10, they went to pass but gained 4 yards. On 3rd and 6, they went to run it and gained 4 yards. It was 4th and 2, and Chicago decided to go for it, except for a field goal, so they went to pass and complete for 6 yards in the first down to Indianapolis 30. 1st and 10, they went to pass but suffered a 6-yard sack. On second 16, they went to pass and complete for 6 yards. On third and 10, they went to pass and complete for 12 yards in the first down at the Indianapolis 18. On first and 10, they went to run it and gained 3 yards. And with that, the third quarter is over with 15 minutes away as Indianapolis still dominating 27-3. As we now go into the final quarter, let's see if Chicago can maybe pull off a comeback or something. So, unfortunately, actually no good for Chicago as Rapid Stallions had an encroachment penalty, made it 2nd 2 at the Indianapolis 10. They went to run it and gained 2 yards in the first down. It was 1st and goal at the Indianapolis 8. 1st and goal, they went to run it, gained 2 yards. 2nd goal, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 3rd and goal, they went to pass but was incomplete. So it was 4th and goal at the Indianapolis 6. Instead of, they're down by a massive score, you would think they'd maybe try and risk it and go for the touchdown to get them closer, but nope. They went for the field goal of 23 yards out, and it was good. So now, 13:33 remaining in the game. Indianapolis leads 27-6. Alright, so let's see if Chicago has the comeback out of them. Well, we'll see, but they got to stop Indianapolis. Alright, so Indianapolis starting off at their 10. On 1st and 10, they ran it, gained 5 yards. On 2nd 5, they went to run it and lost a yard. On 3rd and 6, they went to pass and complete for 5 yards. So it was 4th and 1, they punted back to Chicago. Starting off at their 38. On 1st and 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. On 2nd 5, thanks to a Rapid Stallions penalty, they went to run it and lost 5 yards. So it was 3rd and 10, they went to pass, and it was intercepted! The 4th interception by Indianapolis as they have the ball at the Chicago 46. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass but was incomplete. On second 10, they went to run it, gained a yard. On 3rd and 5, they went to pass and complete for 10 yards in the first down to Chicago 45. On 1st and 10, they went to pass but suffered a 6-yard sack. On 2nd 16, they went to pass and complete for 9 yards. On 3rd and 7, they went to pass and complete for 10 yards in the first down to Chicago 22. So on 1st and 10, they went to pass, complete for 7 yards. 2nd 3, they went to pass, complete for 10 yards in the first down at the Chicago 5. So it was 1st and goal. They went to run it, gained 2 yards. On 2nd goal, they went to run it, gained 1 yard. On 3rd and goal, they went to pass but was incomplete. So once again, it was 4th and goal to Chicago 2. Instead of, maybe being aggressive and trying make it even harder to make the comeback with an extra touchdown, nope. They decided to go for the 19-yard field goal, and it was good. So with 6:09 remaining in the game, Indianapolis leads 30-6. Alright now, so here we go. Crunch time for Chicago if they want to win a title. So, they got the kickoff, and they returned it 34 yards to start off at their 41. 1st and 10, they went to pass, and complete for 9 yards. 2nd one, they went to run it, but lost 5 yards. On 3rd and 6, they went to pass, but was incomplete. But instead of trying to go for it, since it would be stupid to go for this, they decided to go for the punt. And it came back to bite them as it was blocked by Indianapolis, who now has it at the Chicago 40. Are you kidding me? So 1st and 10, they went to run it, gained nothing. On 2nd 10, they went to run and gained 2 yards. On 3rd and 8, they went to run it and gained nothing. And then for some strange reason, on 4th and 8, Indianapolis decided to go for it. They went to pass and complete for 7 yards, but it was 1 yard short, so Indianapolis turned it over. So now Chicago has it at their 31 with 3:20 remaining. They went to pass but suffered a 6-yard sack. On 2nd and 5, they went to pass and complete for 51 yards to sum up 1st and 10 at the Indianapolis 24. Biggest play Chicago had offensively in this game. They went to pass and gained 8 yards. On 2nd 2, they went to pass but suffered a 7-yard sack. On 3rd and 9, they went to pass and complete for 2 yards. So it's 4th and 7. Running out of time, they decided to run instead of passing for it. And they only gained 3 yards, so they turned it over on downs. And with that, the game was over as the Indianapolis Rapid Stallions, for the 3rd year in a row, are the DCFL champions. And congratulations, the Indianapolis Rapid Stallions, for their 3rd title in a row, as the dynasty is pretty much official as it continues on for another year. Let's see, in 2018, remember they destroyed Jacksonville. Then last year in 2019, they barely held on to beat New York. And then this year, they destroyed Chicago. Wow, I did not think that would happen at all. I thought it was going to be a close defensive struggle. Well, Indianapolis made a defensive struggle, but just Chicago didn't show up. As I'm looking at the stats, Indianapolis' quarterback did not really play good, was 13 of 24, 104 yards. That's not really impressive, but hey, compared to Chicago's quarterback, who was 25 of 47 for 233 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Oh my goodness. Oh, now I'm looking at the stats. Chicago had more total yards than Indianapolis, but all those turnovers, 6 in total for Chicago, came back to bite them hard in the ass. Like at least I think 20 points possibly came from turnovers, so take them away. Indianapolis probably only win at 10-6 or something like that. Who knows? Chicago might have had a chance. Wow. What a crazy blowout performance. I did not expect this. As that will finally wrap up the 2020 DCFL season, as this one was the longest in the series, I believe, sadly, but I managed to get it done just in time for the 2020 year to end. And I'm actually not sure if I'm going to continue this series. Like, this happens every single year at the end of the year. Like, oh my god, I don't know if I'm going to come back or not. It's just so much pain to just go through the offseason. Especially since a lot of people keep leaving the league and all that. Like no one seems to be really, like, motivated to do the series and all that. And it's really hard to do a series with multiple people if they don't take it, like, seriously. But hopefully it'll come back. We'll have to wait and see. As we now got to begin the long offseason, which is going to include player re-signings, free agencies, draft, all of that before we could do the next season. So we'll see if 2021 will happen. I'm hoping to eventually do the series, like, not like every year like it's ended up being. I want to be like every like few months to do like the whole series in one go, like, if you get what I'm saying. A couple seasons in a year. But we'll have to wait and see. But right now, congratulations to the Indianapolis Rapid Stallions. Title number 3. Well deserved. And see you guys next time for hopefully 2021 and beyond.